Did you know that being single is not a sentence? It's not a transitional state that you have to quickly fix with a new relationship. Happiness doesn't depend on whether you have someone next to you, but on whether you feel good with yourself. You can be in a relationship and feel lonelier than ever. Loneliness is not a punishment, but a chance to really get to know yourself. The better you know yourself, the less you get into relationships just out of fear of being alone. Hi, it's Maya, outside the drama. I'll be honest, I'm really glad we're talking about this today. Because today, we're going to talk about something that for many of us is a bit of a taboo and a bit of a reason for unnecessary complexes. About being single. But not the kind of single that's forced, but chosen. About whether you can be happy on your own and whether you really have to wait for a better half to feel fulfilled. You know, recently a close friend of mine came to me, the kind I've known for years. We've spent many nights talking over wine and pizza, and honestly, she inspired me to record this episode. She came a bit worried, a bit amused, because as she said herself, I guess I'm weird because I'm happy on my own. And she asks, Maya, is it normal that I don't want to be in a relationship? That I don't feel the need to look for a guy just for the sake of it? That I like coming back to an empty apartment and doing what I want when I want? I've heard this question so many times that I just smiled. Because seriously, how many times have you heard, so, when are you going to find someone? Aren't you afraid you'll end up alone? Everyone needs someone to be happy. Exactly. I'm sure you've heard it more than once in your life. And let me tell you one thing. Being single is not a sentence. It's not a transitional state that you have to quickly fix with a new relationship. It's not a reason to be ashamed. It's an option. And it's actually a pretty cool option if you know how to appreciate it. I remember my friend telling me that after her breakup, everyone around her started comforting her, saying things like, you'll find someone better, or you can't be alone, you'll go crazy, or life alone is sad. And she was happy. Seriously. She discovered that she likes going to the movies alone, that she doesn't have to argue with anyone about what's for dinner, that she can sleep diagonally in bed and no one bothers her. And you know what? That's exactly what we often don't see. That happiness doesn't depend on whether you have someone next to you, but on whether you feel good with yourself. All right, but someone will probably ask, what about loneliness? Doesn't everyone feel lonely sometimes? Of course. Loneliness isn't a state reserved only for singles. You can be in a relationship and feel lonelier than ever. You can have a crowd of people around you and still feel empty. The difference is, if you choose to be alone, you learn to be your own best company. You learn to listen to yourself, take care of your needs, and not wait for someone else to make you happy. Another question I often hear, aren't you afraid you'll be alone forever? So what? Seriously, so what? Is happiness really only about being together? Can't you be fulfilled having friends, passions, work, dreams? And why do we plant this fear in ourselves that I'll disappear into sad, dark loneliness if I don't reserve someone for my later years? You feel how crazy that is, right? I know women and men who are in relationships just because they're afraid of being alone. And you know what? That's what's really sad. Because it's better to be alone than with someone who doesn't understand you, doesn't support you, doesn't bring you joy. And if one day someone comes along who makes you feel better than you do alone, great. But if not, that's okay too. Okay, let's move on. I also often hear, don't you miss closeness? Someone to hug you? Ask how your day was? Sure, everyone misses that sometimes. But closeness isn't just about a relationship. It's friendships, family, even your relationship with yourself. You can have people around you who support you, You can have your own rituals, your little pleasures. My friend says that since she's been single, she's learned to take care of herself like her own best friend. She has movie nights, cooks whatever she feels like, goes for walks, signs up for courses, meets new people, not to catch someone, but just to have a good time. And here's the heart of it. Being single isn't about waiting for a better tomorrow, for a prince from a fairy tale, for a better half. It's about living here and now. You know, people often say that before you get into a relationship, it's worth sorting yourself out first. And there's something to that. Loneliness gives you space to really get to know yourself, to see what makes you happy, what annoys you, what you need, and what you never want again. It's a time when you can work on your patterns, learn to set boundaries, take care of your emotions, and learn how to be good to yourself. You can finally ask yourself, what do I really want from life and from another person? Without pressure, without rushing, without pretending. It's a beautiful time. Your time. The better you know yourself, the less you get into relationships just because, out of fear of loneliness or the need to fill a void. Instead, you build a relationship out of choice, not necessity. You don't expect someone to fix you or make you happy because you already know that happiness starts with you. And that's the best foundation for a healthy, mature relationship. One where you're together because you want to be, not because you have to. People often ask, what if everyone around me is in a couple and I feel like the third wheel? Well, sometimes that happens, but that doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It just means you have a different path. And you know what? Everyone has their own timing. Some find love in high school, others after 40, and still others never. And they're happy too. Don't compare yourself to others. Don't look at Instagram, where everyone posts photos from dates, engagements, weddings. That's just a slice of reality. No one shows the lonely evenings, the arguments, the disappointments. And the question everyone probably has in their head now, Maya, what about sex? Everyone has their needs after all. You know what? That question comes up more often than you think. Of course, we're only human. Physical needs are natural. There's no point pretending they don't exist. Being single doesn't mean you suddenly become a monk or a nun and forget what closeness or touch feels like. Everyone deals with it differently. Some focus on closeness with themselves, and there's nothing to be ashamed of. Others have short-term, no-strings-attached relationships. And still others just wait for someone they really want to share that closeness with. And if someone tells you that singles don't have a sex life, they've clearly never been single in the 21st century. Seriously, everything is a choice. The important thing is to be true to yourself and not hurt others. There's no one right way, no shoulds or shouldn'ts. Your body, your rules, your decisions. We don't judge, we don't compare. Everyone has the right to their own lifestyle and their own choices. And if sometimes you want a hug, sex, or just closeness, that's normal. You don't have to explain yourself or feel guilty. Being single doesn't exclude needs. It just gives you the freedom to decide how and with whom you want to fulfill them. Let me tell you one last thing. So if today you feel better on your own, that's okay. If you prefer coming home to an empty apartment, having peace and quiet, and doing everything your own way, that's okay. If one day you want a relationship, great. And if not, that's great too. Let me know in the comments how it is for you. Do you also sometimes feel the pressure to be with someone? Or maybe you've discovered that happiness alone is possible too? How do you deal with physical needs? Share your story. Maybe you'll help someone who needs it right now. And please subscribe to the channel. And if you made it to the end, write drama off. The channel is new and needs your support. So click and comment. Thanks. That's all for today. Take care and remember, happiness starts with you, not your relationship status on Facebook. I'm Maya, and this was Outside the Drama. See you in the next episode.